First one. This is this is gonna be insane. So this is me, having played one game of AOS, writing, very excitedly writing some army lists for Twitch viewers. Now this first one is for Purple Spark, and she's got some Soulblight Gravelords. And Soulblight Gravelords, for those ones who don't know, you always get battle traits, and then you get to pick a battle formation, and then you can also add in some artifacts and heroic traits if you want to add them to normal heroes, which is really cool. Just very quickly go over the battle traits so that everybody kind of knows what's happening in their mind. If you are a friendly vampire unit that has used a fight ability this turn, you can heal D3, or you can heal 2d3 if you destroyed an enemy unit with using that fight ability, which is really good. So as long as your vampires are fighting, they're always healing. Unquiet Dead, which is you do this in the deployment phase, so you pick a death rattle or a zombie unit, and you can put them in reserve, so you can put them in the grave, and then they can come up at any point in your movement phase. So here it's a Rising Dead here. So you pick a friendly unit that is in the grave in the previous turn over here, in the previous step, and you can set them up wholly within 6 inches of a terrain feature and more than 9 inches away from all enemy units. You've played 3 games of AOS in 15 years. Yes, I've played 3 games of AOS. I've played 3 games of AOS and 1 game of AOS 4. Sip, we are going to get to yours. We're going to get to your list after this one. And so the next ability that they have, so this is an army ability, so you can have Deathly Invocation, and you declare a Soulblight Gravelords hero, and you pick 3 Death Rattle or Deadwalker units wholly within 12 inches of that hero, and then you can heal 3 to that unit, or restore 3 models, or restore models up to a health characteristic of 3, which is usually going to be 3 because you're picking like zombies or skeletons. Or, interestingly, no spoilers, Graveguard. And then once per turn, per army, in any movement phase, you can bring something. Up. So those ones that you put into the grave, you can then bring up in your opponent's turn if you want to. Have to be wholly within 12 inches of a hero, and wholly within 6 inches of a terrain feature more than 9 inches away from all enemy units. However, if it's your movement phase, you can bring them more than 3 inches from enemy units instead of more than 9. But if you set them up within 9, you can't charge, which is cool. So you can kind of move block and stuff. Endless Legions is bring back dead units.
Makes me think of Monty Python. Bring out your dead.
Yes. So you can bring back dead stuff. So if you've lost a unit, you can bring back dead stuff. But bring out your dead. Bring out your dead. That's a corpse card. So Purpley Spark has sent me a list of all the models that she's got. Now the idea here is that I'm going to try to write a list that includes as many of Purpley Spark's models that she already has. I'm not dead. I feel fine. As many of Purpley Spark's models that she has, and then add to it, or kind of like as many as we can. So I'm gonna spoil it now, Purpley. You're gonna need 1 model, probably ish. I don't know. I've not built the list, but I've kind of built the list in my head. So the one that we're going to do, I don't know which one of these battle formations is going to be the most useful. It's either going to be Horror Unending, which is you can use Deathly Invocation an extra time a turn. Deathly Invocation being this one here. So pick a friendly Soulblight Gravelords hero to use this ability, and then pick up to 3.
If you say Manfred, I'll kill you, slowly and painfully.
Let's find out if I say Manfred or not. You can pick 1 additional target when you use Deathly Invocation. So rather than picking 3, you can pick 4 units. So if we can have 4 Death Rattle or Deadwalker units or Dead Walker units, then that's going to be really, really cool. So we can either use that one or this one down here. So add 1 to the rend characteristics of Death Rattle units when they charge. So if they charge, they're going to get +1 AP, which is going to +1 rend, which is going to be really, really cool. So Purpley Spark in her list, she has 3 lots of Graveguard. And I like Graveguard. I think Graveguard are cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a Death Rattle skeleton Graveguard awesome army for Purpley Spark. Now, first things to do. So there's a couple of different ways that I've done. I've kind of approached this list building. So the first one, we've got Purpley Spark. Purpley Spark has sent me lists of everything that she's got, and then I've gone, oh, okay, that's a cool unit. Let's see if I can write an army list around it, and then had a look at the rules. Whereas the other 2 lists, Saxtus and Pete, have said, can you help me with Cruel Boys and Iron Jaws? Okay, so I've had a kind of a scan through. I'm going to base my army around this battle formation or this ability sort of thing. So what we need to do is we need to scroll down here. We need to find Graveguard. Graveguard are somewhere down at the bottom, somewhere around here, I think. There's bats, skeletons, Sekar. Oh, I got Sekar at the weekend as well, so I now have Sekar, which is cool. I don't know whether to give her a head swap or not. That can be for another stream. So Graveguard are... Where are they? Come on. Necromancer. Graveguard. Here we go. So Graveguard are currently Rend 1. Okay, currently Rend 1. They do crit mortals. So when you're rolling to wound, if you roll a 6, they do an automatic damage. It's only 1 damage at the moment. We might be able to buff that up to 2 damage. Don't know, maybe. And then while any friendly Soulblight Gravelords infantry heroes are within this unit's combat range, then both units have a ward of 5. So at the moment they have a ward of 6. All the Death Army's units in here have a ward of 6. But if these have a infantry hero with them as well, they can have a ward of 5. So they have a 4-up save and a ward of 5, and you can bring them back in any hero phase as well. So this should be really, really cool. Now, what heroes are we going to need to start this army off, if you like? And the first one that we're going to put in so that we can kind of start the army is, I think, a White King. So we're going to find a White King. Where's White King? Because if we have a look at a White King... Where are we? Where's White King? Where's White King? Kado, really, really cool. Where is the White King? We've gone past. We must have gone past the White King. Zombie Dragon, or maybe not. There we go, White King. So the White King. Hey Francois, how you doing? Pick a friendly non-hero Death Rattle infantry unit, so the Graveguards, that has not used a fight ability this turn, and it is within the unit's combat range to be with the target. The target can be picked to use a fight ability immediately after the fight ability has been used for this unit. If it is picked to do so, add 1 to the hit rolls for the target's attack. So what we're going to do to start off with, so we're going to add a hero in here, we're going to add a White King on, and we're going to add 2 units of Graveguard. Boom. Another unit of Graveguard, we're going to reinforce 1. There we go. So we now have 3 units of Graveguard. Can you please walk me through Dark Elves? Dark Elves? Dark Elves in AOS? That's going to take a long time, Francois. It's going to take a long time. I might do a Dark Elf video for Old World. There we go. So we've got 2 units of Graveguard. So Purpley Spark says she's got 3 units. So 3 units of 10 is 2 units, 1 unit of 20, and 1 unit of 10. So that's that. So we've got the Graveguard in. We've already spent 590 points. Now, what do we need on top of that? So that's kind of like we've definitely got like a central like anvil unit to kind of wander up and smash things around. Could probably use a Necromancer is going to be really, really interesting. Now I think you can add a Necromancer in. Oh no, you can't add a Necromancer into there. Where's the Necromancer? No, you have to add a Necromancer as a hero. I thought you could add a Necromancer as a... Okay, so a Necromancer... We go find a Necromancer, which I think is up here. Doo-doo-doo. Necromancer allows... Ba-ba-ba. Necromancer. Come on, Necromancer. Where are you? Oh, that's Vordry. We must have gone past the Necromancer. Thought the Witch Cult was in AOS. We don't play witches. Oh, yeah, so the witches are. Yeah, witches are. So the Daughters of Cain. Daughters of Cain are in AOS, yes. Not Dark Elves, though. Dark Elves are in our Old World. And I do want to do a... here's a Necromancer. So the Necromancer... as long as the Necromancer is within combat range of a Death Rattle unit, so that massive Graveguard that we had, he has a 4+ ward save. However, every time you do make a save, then a Graveguard dies, which is fine. However, ding! Once per turn in your combat phase, you can pick a Death Rattle unit, so my unit of 20 Graveguard, roll a dice. On a 3+, they can fight again. However, the second time they fight last, so they fight right at the end of the combat phase. However, they've got a 4+ save and a 5+ ward save, so they should be surviving. So they get to fight twice, which is proper cool. Proper cool. So we're at 730 points at the moment for 20 Graveguard, 10 Graveguard, a Necromancer, and a White King. Though some Dark Elves were in Cities of Sigmar. Yeah, some are in. Yeah, yeah, there's some Dark Elves in Cities of Sigmar, but you can't really write it. You can write a Dark Elf army, but right. So, okay, let's come back here. So that's the kind of the central bit of the army. Let's see what else we can add in. What else do we want? We want some stuff. So one of the things that I found that I really liked when I was playing was how long it took just to kind of get through skeletons as normal. I don't think you have any skelly bobs, do you, purples? So you haven't got any skellies on here. However, you do have some. You do have some zombies. So zombies are pretty cool because they start with 20, and if you have a look at zombies, they are right down at the bottom. So unit of 20. Unit of 20 zombies. They've all got 1 health. They do mortal wounds at the end of a fight phase, and 6+ save, 6+ ward. But you can bring them back. They're just like a massive annoyance. Apart from Graveguard and Black Knights, I don't have skellies. Yes. Oh, you got Black Knights. You do have Black Knights. Oh, we need to have Black Knights in. I missed the Black Knights, so we need to. I wonder whether you can add a Necromancer in as a White King. So if we add a White King on Skeletal Steed and add Black Knights into that, can I then add a Necromancer into here? There are some heroes that you can add in, but I can't remember where it says. There are some heroes that you can add into a regiment without them being like without them being a hero as such. But I can't remember where it says that. And I thought a Necromancer you could. Where's the Necromancer gone? White King. Can you do it on the White King? Death, hero, infantry. Where's the points? There's the points. 26. Page 26 for Soulblights. Ah, there we go. This hero can join an eligible regiment as a Virkos Retainer. What's a Virkos Retainer? What's Captain Halgrim Torgless? Hey Chimera, how you doing? You made a very cool Demon Prince. Nice! Retainers are the hanger-on. That still means absolutely nothing to me. 0 to 1 Virkos Retainer. This unit cannot be reinforced. This unit cannot be reinforced. This unit cannot be reinforced, which is fine. Okay, so basically nothing. Basically nothing. Okay. Okay, so we have a White King on Skeletal Steed and 5 Black Knights. Oh, purpley, you're going to end up with so many drops. So, Black Knights. So you want the Necromancer, the White King on Skeletal Steed. So the White King on Skeletal Steed basically does the same as the White King. However, you also add +1 to charge rolls for Death Rattle Cavalry. So they're charging on a +1, and then they get to fight straight after him as well. So he gets to hit with his 4 attacks at damage 2. And then they get to hit with all of their attacks as well. And Black Knights have crit mortals on the charge as well, which is insane. So they are damage 2 with crit mortals. Damage 2 with crit mortals, which is proper cool. How many Black Knights do you have, Purpley? Games which are decided instead of making it attached here as a keyword, just by the dominant. So it says just 1 unit of 5. Okay, so you got 1 unit of 5 of those. So this one might be. This might be the first one that we drop out. Okay, so the one character that I want to add to Purpley's collection, which I think works really well with all of this. If we go right up to the top, we go right up to the top and find Manfred von Garstein. So Manfred von Garstein, if this unit has slayed any enemy models this turn, for the rest of the turn, add 1 to the attacks of Death Rattle. No, I'm joking. Neferata. Okay. Okay, so Neferata. Neferata allows you to move at the beginning of the game. So those Graveguard that we put down. So the 2 units of Graveguard on the unit of zombies. So the Death Rattle and the Deadwalkers, they get to move before the game starts. So you're deploying, and then you get to kind of pre-move, and you get to go and cap and sit on some objectives before like the game has even started. Now this is really useful because zombies and Graveguard are particularly slow. I think they're only movement 4. So this gives them an extra move right at the beginning as well, just to kind of get out there a little bit, which is excellent. And then also subtract 1 from hit rolls for combat attacks that target friendly Soulblight Gravelords units while they are wholly within 6 inches of this unit. So 6 inches, a unit of 10 is quite easy to be within 6 inches of a unit. It's quite easy to be a unit of 20 within 6 inches. So what I want to do, Purpley, is add your first purchase. And of course, this is going to be something that we're building up to anyway. So this is something that Purpley can aim towards. We're going to add Neferata in there. And also, Neferata is a wizard too, so she can cast 2 spells. Now, the Soulblight spells are awesome. They're awesome. Just saying. They're brilliant. So you've got Vile Transference. You cast it, and you pick a target that you can see within 18 inches. And for each 6, you roll a number of dice equal to the models in the unit. So if there's a unit of 20 orcs or 20 bloodletters or something within 18 inches, you roll 20 dice. For each 6, they take a mortal damage, and then you also heal the caster. So Neferata can be healing herself. She's also going to make a unit strike last if she wants to, remembering that she can cast twice. So she can cast this and Vile Transference if she wants to. She also has her own spell, which is really good. You can also do Waste Away, which is excellent. So if you've got something charging in that's got some cavalry tend to have +1 damage on the charge. You can cast this on them and turn them back down to 1 damage, so you're literally halving their damage output. This is also excellent. It's one of those things that it's situational, so you need to be aware of the damage of opponents' models when they're charging in, and you can get her in position and take the damage down. And then, of course, she also has her own spell, which is Dark Mist, and you pick a friendly non-monster Soulblight Gravelords unit wholly within 12 inches, and they ignore modifiers to save rolls until the start of your next turn. So these Graveguard that we've got, these beautiful Graveguard here that have got a 4-up save, have now always got a 4-up save. Always got a 4-up save. And as long as a Soulblight infantry hero unit is within combat range of them, which is within 3 inches, so basically you just walk these up the battlefield with a White King next to them, they have a 5-up ward save. So you're... it's ridiculous. So you're halving all the damage that's gone into them anyway, because they have a 4-up save. And then you're thirding all the damage that then goes through as well. So if you get 20 damage coming into you, so if you get 20 wounds coming in, 20 wounds, sorry, not 20 damage, 20 wounds coming in, you're saving half of them, so that's 10 wounds gone through. You're then saving a further third of those, so from 20 wounds coming through, you've only got 7 damage going through onto the Graveguard, because they have a 4-up save and then a 5-up ward save. So this is awesome. Love that combination, so I hope you can agree that adding Neferata in here is a really, really cool idea. So there we go. Hey Spike, how are you doing? How are you doing? Okay, so that's the Graveguard, and we've got a unit of Black Knights. I'm not completely sold on the Black Knights in terms of having the White King there, so we might just drop the White King out, and maybe drop him in there. Maybe drop the Black Knights in there. We'll see. What's that? So we've now got 500 points left to spend, which is good because now we can do some shenanigans with other stuff, which is cool. There are a few other things that we can do. The option or the kind of the conversation between a Necromancer. Where was the Necromancer? The conversation between a Necromancer. So this one here. So a Necromancer gives himself a 4+ ward save. So 5 health, 6-up save, 4+ ward, and then gets them to fight twice. So just so that we know on this one. The Graveguard, where are they? I think they get 2 attacks each. So they get 2 attacks each, so that's 40 attacks from a unit of 20, 80 attacks if you get them to fight twice, all with crit mortals, and they've got a 4+, 5+, which is cool. Now, you could also have... have you got any of the Mortis engines? I can't remember, Purpley. Have you got any Mortis engines? Mortis engines. No, you haven't got any Mortis engines. No Mortis engines for Purpley. So, I'm not going to add one in Purpley. However, if you check this one out here, so the actual Mortis engine. So, for the sake of arguing about all of this, you have the Bloodseeker Palanquin, the Mortis engine, and the Coven Throne. Okay, nobody knows what the difference between any of these is. So you can get this kit. I would probably build it with this Vampiress on there with the that's the Bloodseeker Palanquin. It's got like a massive cauldron of blood on it. I'd probably add loads more of the vampires from the Coven Throne bit on it as well, and you can just use it for all 3. It's absolutely fine. Nobody knows. Just at the beginning, you just when you're telling everybody what the units are, you just say this is a Bloodseeker Palanquin. It's absolutely fine. So it's fine. Yeah. Anyway, so this one here. So just to show you purples, if you wanted to add this one, and they're not that expensive. When a friendly death rattle unit wholly within 12 inches of this unit is picked to be the target of the Deathly Invocation, remember the Deathly Invocation is adding 3 to the unit, you can add an additional D3 as well. So now in theory, Graveguard could be adding 6 back to their unit, which is ridiculous. Right, a different stream vid for the old world Dark Elf would be cool. I have everything but Witch Cult in the core of my army is 50 Cold One Riders. Wow! Nice. White King, 30 Graveguard, 5 Skelly Horses, Necromancer, Neferata, 1500. Oh, you see 1340, oh, sorry. Because Purpley is currently making it in her AOS thing as well. Okay, so so the other option we were going to do a little combination chat between. Oh, what does this guy do? So that he can fight straight after that. Each time you make a run, you can change it to 4. That's fine. We don't really want Watch Captor. That's fine. So here we go. Okay, so this guy, he can use a Deathly Invocation ability even if a different friendly unit has already used it this turn. So this guy can then also do it as well. I don't think he's going to be as useful as the Necromancer, because if we look here, we've only got 2 Graveguard, zombies and Black Knights. So we've only got like 4 units anyway. The Black Knights are probably going to be, like, if Black Knights get hit, they're going to die. So they're a little bit fragile. So I don't think you're going to necessarily need to use him. The only benefit is until the start of your next turn, subtract 1 from the wound rolls from the target's attacks. Now, there is a better use for this. So this is -1 wound, basically, for a unit. Now, what you can also do is if you find Kado, and I'm pretty sure Purpley has Kado. Purpley does not have Kado. Okay, Purpley does not have Kado. Let me just show you Kado though, Purpley, because Kado. Where's Kado gone? God, trying to find anything in this thing is a nightmare. Kado is. Hey, Cookie, how you doing? I thought he was in here. Vampire Lord. Kado. Here we go. So Kado, you can target a unit of Graveguard, and they are then -1 to wound. So the Graveguard then are -1 to wound, always having a 4-up save and a 5+ ward. Awesome, really, really. In a unit of 20, that can get 3 back every turn. It's, yeah, so that's cool. So we could add Kado in here, but then you just end up with like lots and lots and lots of stuff. I do like the Necromancer. The Necromancer giving fight twice on the Graveguard, I think, is really, really cool. So we've got this. We've got Neferata for a little bit of like monster attack. We need a bit of a threat. We need a bit of a threat monster to throw down. So Purpley does have Radukar. Radukar would be cool. Now Radukar is quite a cool one because Radukar can break through lines, which is really, really fun. What's between crit mortal and crit auto wound? So crit mortal is when you are rolling to wound. So you've already hit, you then pick up your dice and you roll to wound. Any sixes then cause automatic damage. Whereas crit auto wound is when you're rolling to hit. So you roll to hit, roll all your dice to hit, and any sixes automatically wound at whatever your rend value and damage is on the model's stat line. Auto means you have the ward save. No, they automatically wound, so you still have your save and then ward save depending on what your rend is. So if these guys here had auto wound, you'd have, if you rolled 2 attacks, if they both rolled a 6, you would automatically wound the target at rend 2, damage 3. Cool. Crit are always on the. Crit is always on the hit roll. Oh, is it? Hang on. So crit mortal is if you roll a 6 to hit, you automatically do 2 damage. Oh, okay. There we go. Okay. Right, we need something to hit. So I'm gonna throw in Radukar the Beast. Radukar the Beast. Radukar the Beast also adds +1 to wound for your Graveguard as well. So as long as he is within 12 inches of the Graveguard, remember, if you are within 12 inches of the Graveguard, then they are also getting the they're also getting a 5+ ward save as well. So what we could actually do is swap the White King out for Radukar, but we'll see about that in a second. Radukar the Beast, we're going to throw Radukar the Beast in there. So we've got 150 points left to spend. And this guy is hitting with 6 attacks at damage 3, which is nuts. So that's 18 damage. And then you also get 6 attacks at damage 2. So in theory, he could do up to 30 damage, which is insane. So this guy's awesome. And then also, he can punch through lines as well. So if he's not in combat, he can move d6 inches. And he can move back into combat. So what you can do with this guy is you can charge him in, you can do loads of damage. And then because he's got 12 health as well, you can then do something called power through, which you then charge through the enemy which you're in combat with in the combat phase, do mortal wounds to them. You have to finish outside of combat range, and then you can then move as well. So once he's powered through out of combat, he is then not in combat, and then he can move another d6 inches. So he can go through the main front line and then hit something behind, which is really, really cool. And then you can also make something -1 to hit, which is just cool. Oh dear. Oh, yeah, so he's really cool. So that's your. This is a little bit of your threat. So he can, and he's also move 8 as well. So he's proper quick. So this is what we got now. The issue we have here at the moment is that we are 4 drops now. Do we need the White King, or do we need the Necromancer? Can we drop either of these? The White King. The White King is the one that gives you fight and then fight. I don't think he gives him +1. I think that was just the White King on the skeletal steed. No, he does give the +1, so he gives the +1 to hit as well. So the White King is really, really cool. Whether he's worth having in there, I think he is. Because then you've got where are the Graveguards? So the Graveguard are charging in 2s and 3s. And remember, if they're next to Radukar as well, they're 2s and 2s. So it's 40 attacks, hitting on 2s, winning on 2s, damage 1 with crit mortals. And then they get to fight again. So another 40 attacks, hitting on 2s, winning on 2s, at damage 1. White King is worse. He doesn't grant fight first nor negate it. And you have to fight with the White King first. And he also doesn't have fight first. No, he doesn't have fight first. However, you can give him fight first. Where's... Oh, it's 4-dry that can go strike first. Where's the... Is it just fight last that you can give? Is there a way of getting fight first, or is it just getting fight last? So you can do fight last. You can do fight last on an enemy that is in combat with the Graveguard, and then you can also go strike last. So you can give the and that's only the hero. So you can go. You can put the Orb of Enchantment on the White King. You can then cast a spell on the unit. So if the Graveguard and the White King are in combat with a unit and a hero, the White King can make the hero strike last, and then you can cast strike last on the unit, so that the White King can then bang bang bang. And then because you're picking your combat order, once you get to the strike last part of the combat phase, you get to pick first, so you then pick the skeletons to strike last first before the other ones strike last. So yeah, I am going to keep both of those in. I like the White King because you're hitting. The only thing in here is whether we need another 10 Graveguard. We might not need that 10 Graveguard. Now, what else do we need in here? I think we need some. We need some direwolves. You've got direwolves. How many direwolves have you got? You've only got 1 unit of direwolves, which is fine. So we've got 140 direwolves. That's 1990. I don't think we need another unit of 10 Graveguard in here. I'm not sure we need the Black Knights. What else have you got in? What else have you got unit-wise? Blood Knights. Oh shit, you got Blood Knights. You got Blood Knights purples. So you've got 20. So if we drop both of those and add Blood Knights in, Blood Knights, not Black Knights, Blood Knights. There we go. 1910. Necromancer or White King? Necromancer or White King? You got Radukar, you got Neferata. 1910. Don't think there's any. Is there anything that's 90 points? How many points are the bats? Oh, bats are 90 points. There we go. So we can have bats in, and then we're done. Fell bats 90 points. There we go. 2,000 points. Ooh, ooh. Oh, corpse cart. Corpse cart's an interesting one. So corpse cart is probably even better than the bats. I do like the bats because they're quick. But the corpse cart. So that massive unit of zombies, which we've got now, we haven't got. Yeah, so the massive unit of zombies is going to be like a tar pit in the middle. The dire wolf can harass down on the flank. Neferata can harass down on the flank as well. So Neferata, I will put Neferata and the dire wolves on the flank to kind of shepherd things into the middle where your graveguard and your zombies are. You throw zombies into like a unit which hits hard and just kind of tar pit them up. The graveguard can just delete pretty much anything with 80 attacks, hitting on 2s, wounding on 2s. Radukar the Beast can almost be like an intercept missile and just kind of go at something. And you've got the spell law here as well, Law of Undeath, Manifestation Law, Morbid Conjuration, there we go, so that you can have the Suffocating Gravetide. Yeah, I think that is Radukar the Beast. So the Corpse Cart, just to kind of clear up that one as well. The Corpse Cart, melee weapons by friendly Deadwalker units have crit auto wound. So they are automatically wounding with all their kind of damage, with all their attacks. Where are the zombies? I think they only get 1 attack each anyway. Zombies. Gone past them. Zombies are down here. Zombies. Zombies, they only get 1 attack each. So they're going to get 20 attacks with auto wounds. It's not really that good. The dire wolves are quite cool though. So dire wolves can run and charge. So dire wolves, what you want to do is you want to stick them on the flank. They're moving 10 inches. They're charging something just to kind of hold them up and give you that time, so that your enemy is hitting you in waves rather than hitting you all at once. So these are going to charge through and just hold something up around a flank. So that's going to be really, really useful for that. Radukar the Beast, I quite like that. I think that's quite cool. So 20 Graveguard, 20 Zombies, 5 Blood Knights. Blood Knights are so good. Blood Knights are really good with Vordry, however they are also really good with Neferata. So Blood Knights are up here. Blood Knights are here, look. So Blood Knights on a charge, you roll a d3. On a 2+, they inflict mortal wounds, so you're either going to inflict 2 or 3 mortal wounds on the charge. They can also move through enemy infantry units, and you can pass through combat ranges, which is really cool. So you can charge. It doesn't happen very often. They've only got a move of 12, so the same with the charge as well. They're not going to be able to kind of get through too much, but they can kind of run through the corner of something, because obviously you have to be 3 inches away, so that's 3 inches to move to the unit. You've then got to move through the unit and then move 3 inches out. So you only have like 6 inches to play with a little bit with that, so they can move through a corner of a unit if they're trying to move block you or something. But they get 3 attacks each, which is nuts. They are damage 2 on the charge, Ren 2. And they are 3s and 3s. Now you can give them pluses to hit if in a different battle trait, different battle formation, but in this one they're just 3s and 3s, which I still think is absolutely fine. So they are properly cool. I think purples. What do you think of that? Fellbats are cool because it's 12 inches and fly. Yes. So fellbats in the same way. Fellbats, you want fellbats and direwolves on the flanks along with Neferata. I would probably put Neferata on a flank as well, just so that you can kind of shepherd things into the middle a little bit. So fellbats moving 12 inches, they only get 3 attacks, 4 4s. So, but they do have 3 health each. So they're not going to hold up much, but they are going to hold up like a cannon or something. So if they're if there's a cannon in the back, you can throw them around the flank, throw Fellbats around the flank, and then next turn maybe get into a cannon or something. If your opponent is shooting at or sending units towards Fellbats or Direwolves, then that's good, because they're not putting focuses on things like your Graveguard. Yeah, there we go. You need Neferata wholly within 12 inches of a 20... Yeah. So, there we go. I think that's really cool. Let's just go and have a quick look at Neferata again, just to finish this off. So, Neferata. Oh, yes, this is the other thing. So, this is Neferata. So, everybody hates Nagash. Everybody hates Nagash. Nagash has the Hand of Dust, which has been described as the most toxic ability in Age of Sigmar. Okay, so Hand of Dust. Pick a visible enemy unit or monster that you are in combat with. Okay, you then hide a dice in your hand and you ask him to pick. If your opponent picks the one hiding the dice, the ability has no effect. If he picks the blank one, he's dead. He's just removed. He's just dead. Okay, so effectively this is on a 4+, because you've got two hands. Yes, you can do like sneaky things like trying to get inside your enemy's head and doing like mind control or something to make them pick the dice or make them not pick the dice hand, etc. So effectively on a 4+, the hero or monster is dead. Okay, and that's one of the most toxic things in the game at the moment. Okay, Neferata. Neferata. Pick an enemy hero that was allocated any damage by this unit's Akhmet Ha this turn to be the target. Okay, so same thing. You pick an enemy hero that is in combat with you, and you have Akhmet Ha here, which is 5 attacks, hits on a 3, wounds on a 3. So you may be getting something like 3 wounds through, but it's rend 2, and if you're killing a hero, it's rend 3. So that one of these is probably going to go through. Okay, 5 attacks, 3s and 3s at rend 3 against a hero. Pick an enemy hero that has allocated any damage points by this unit's Akhmet Ha this turn to be the target. This is basically her dagger. Roll a dice. On a 5+, he's dead. Brilliant. So, it's awesome. It's so good. It's so good. Akhmet Ha only works versus heroes, so you're always going to have rend 3. It doesn't. Akhmet Ha works against anything. It's just against a hero, it's rend 1. This only works against a hero, but that works against anything. It's just that if you're fighting a hero, you get +1 rend. Okay. Yes, there we go. So if you're fighting a hero on a 5+, it's automatically dead. So she's basically a mini Nagash. It's amazing. 33% to kill. Imagine going up against Archaon, or even imagine going up against Nagash, because it's your turn, so you get to do your ability first. You've done a wound to Nagash. Okay, 5+, you're just dead before you can Hand of Dust me. That's brilliant. So Neferata, you need to get a Neferata, purples. You need to get a Neferata. So that's the list. That's the list. We've got. You can move all of these around as well. I don't know who you'd make Neferata your general, so she's the general there. It doesn't really matter what goes where. You'd probably give. I don't know. You'd probably put the Blood Knights in with Neferata because, like, why not? Blood Knights. There you go. Blood Knights go in there. 2,000 points. White King and Graveguard. You keep the Necromancer, the White King, and the Graveguard all together. You put Radukar in the middle with all of these as well. You put Neferata. And the Direwolves out to one flank. You put the Fellbats out on the other flank. The Direwolves and the Fellbats are pretty much like just on the flanks. They just do their own thing. Neferata sits on a flank, but next to the unit of 20 Graveguard. So the 20 Graveguard are over onto one side of the centre. Zombies also in the centre. Neferata over on this flank next to the zombies. You've got the White King and the Necromancer in the middle. You've got Radukar the Beast behind it in the centre, just kind of charging through the centre and doing shit. I think that's cool. So there is list number 1. List number 1, we've done it! Woohoo! And now everybody on YouTube can now come into the comment section down below and rate my list. There we go, rate my list. So yeah, Neferata's epic. Neferata is epic. Kragnos just laughs at your you die ability. There we go. So Felbat. So the only thing you have to get, purples, is Neferata, which you need to get anyway because Neferata is amazing. Death March along with it. Now this was the thing, wasn't it? So Death March, which one do we actually pick? I originally thought we were going to do Horror Unending or Tide of Bones. Yeah, I think Death March. Yeah, make the Graveguard Rend 2 when they charge. Graveguard Rend 2 when they charge. Because you don't need to do this. You don't need an additional. You don't need to heal 4 because we've only got 1, 2. We've only got we've only got 2 anyway. Yeah, I think go with Death March. You could go with the Bacchanal of Blood. So it's one of these two. If you take Death March, then you need to focus your kind of your punch around the Graveguard going in. So kind of get anybody in position to be able to do get everybody in position to be able to do the 80 attacks with the Graveguard, which is quite cool. And then they are Rend 2 as well, so they're going to be getting the damage through. Or you could go with the +1 casting rolls and +1 to wound, because you do have Neferata, which is a zombie, which is a vampire. You've got the 5 Blood Knights, which are also vampires, and you've got Radukar the Beast, which is also a vampire. So you've got the three vampire units in here as well. If you were doing that, yeah. Don't remember as well, purpley, you get the Orb of Enchantment on the Witch King. Yes, Orb of Enchantment on the Witch King. So strike last. So that just guarantees that when you're going in, if you're going into something, then you can cast Strike Last on the unit. You can cast Strike Last on the hero, So, an Amulet of Screams. You can give the Necromancer that if you want. Roll a d3 on a 2+. Inflict that amount of mortal damage on the caster equal to the roll. If the target is destroyed, then do not resolve the ability of the effect. So this is when somebody casts a spell on you. You roll a d3. And they just do mortal wounds, which is cool. So, you can give that to the Necromancer if you want. It's either or. No, you can give them both. Oh, can you... it's either or, yes. Yeah, one of these two. Can't remember if it was this chat, but I got the Inquisitor in. You got the Inquisitor in? What Inquisitor shovel? So yeah, there we go, purples. Boom. List number 1. Right. Pete, are you still in chat? Is Pete still in chat? Is Pete still in chat? Because if Pete isn't in chat, we're going to do a Cruel Boys for Pete. Oh yeah, we can add a heroic, can't we? Where's a heroic? So that's an artifact. A heroic trait. So you could give the Necromancer... You can give the Necromancer Unbending Will and make the Death Rattle, make the Graveguard 20 control score plus d6. Oh, that's quite good. Yeah, that's quite good. I'd probably take Lash of the Sire. Put the Lash of the Sire on the Necromancer. Because the Necromancer is always going to be within combat range of the Graveguard, so that he can get his ward save, and then Graveguard can pile in an extra. There you go. You can re-roll charge rolls for this unit after your charge phase. No, that's pointless. So yeah, I'd take Lash. Done. You're welcome. There you go. Okay. So, is Pete still in chat? Pete, are you there? 1989. Oh, yes. No, it was that one. Yes, it was. It was. You were. It was this chat. Shovel. Okay. Pete, if you're not in chat, we're going to do Sax Deuces. We're going to see how bad an Iron Jaws list we can write. Yay, Sip! How are you doing, Pete? Okay, Pete. Pete wants Cruel Boys. Pete wants Cruel Boys. Okay. Purpley Spark has got this one, so let's get rid of all this. At least I hope Purpley Spark has got it, because now it's all gone. Right, so we're going to go to Cruel Boys. There we go, Cruel Boys. Okay. Okay, right at the end of the stream, I won a bidding on another Inquisitor. Oh, nice one! Sweet! Okay. So, Cruel Boys. Hey, Twitch lady.
I got it indeed. Thank you, Christopher.
Is that exciting enough for you? Did you think that was cool enough? Did I sell Neferata enough for you, Twitch lady? Get Neferata, she's amazing. 5+ you did.